Fucking great. Next song. We got another one.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey!
Yeah, no, that vocal skipping thing. I've just been able to do that for a long time. Just like
That's amazing. That is
It's
amazing.
it's a lot of fun, but I don't really use it a whole lot in my music. But then,
Question.
hmm?
This is a stupid question. Can you yodel?
Not properly. I could try.
I just asked because like yodeling is like cracking your voice. I don't know what's considered skipping, but because I
Yole,
hear
yole, yole. Like that.
that's not bad. That's not bad. No, because what I I'm on OC Remix and I did this track and it's a remix of the Haunted Chase theme from Donkey Kong Country 2, but it's a
Huh.
polka. I
Jesus.
managed to do that somehow, some way.
So, do you have like do you play live instruments for this shit?
No, I don't actually. The funny thing is, I can't play any live instrument. I'm totally skillless in that. I use FL Studio and then I just plug notes into a computer until it sounds like music. That's my
But
process.
what VSTs or sound fonts do you have that achieve these sounds? That was beautiful. I
Wait. I use all free stuff that I got years ago that I downloaded from a bunch of old
like
sites.
VST Planet.
Oh, S Sound Fonts SV2.
Okay, you know if I have most of my shits from VST Planet. Most of the
And that
synths that
sounded
I
good.
use.
I'm shocked. Yeah, that the free samples that I use. That
Oh
is
god.
amazing.
Yeah, no. So I was I'm streaming this finally because I've been doing this since 2014. The 2 hour
Right.
track Sundays. I've been making music since 2000 fucking 7. I
Wow.
have never sat there and made animal noises into a microphone, let alone
That's
on
crazy.
stream
Yeah,
for a bunch of fucking people. Well, not a bunch,
I don't
just
think
two.
I've ever made an animal noise ever. I just voice animals that sound like people.
God, it was yeah, no, like
That's
yeah,
brilliant, by the way. That was actually brilliant. The
that
idea.
was one of my viewers. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, should I rap the lyrics or should I sing the lyrics? He's like, do animal noises, and I'm sitting there like, no, wait, no, I don't want to. So I record it. I'm listening back to it, and I can't even bring my face out of my palms. It was so hilarious and painful
Honestly,
and beautiful at the same time.
I don't have a chicken puppet, but if I ever found or got a chicken puppet or made one, I would do a music video for that. That's how friggin' funny that was and amazing. Like, because
Yeah,
I don't know if you know, I build puppets. So
really. So you you make polka and marches and make
yeah,
puppets.
and I build puppets. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, the character I sung as is my own creation. He's I posted a picture of him earlier, but he's a deranged German burger chef who's got an infectious laugh, and he owns a restaurant that's also a Zeppelin. So
Ich bin ein Berliner. Yeah, fucking
that's pretty good. No, it's funny because like I have so many characters, but he's like my favorite one to voice
yeah,
because it's his laugh. I love doing his laugh because
yeah,
it's
and
like
the German accent. It's a shame. Like, was this your first submission with this, or how long you been doing this?
first
This is
the
your first.
first submission. This one,
Fucking
but I've been
yeah, excellent first submission. Mine way back then, the theme was rain. I made like this beautiful ambient piece. I'm still proud of. I am still proud of that one, but uh, definitely nowhere near as impactful as that. But
that
there,
that means a lot to me. Thank you.
yeah, no, and there was one theme that I wish you had been here for. Then, let's see, how long ago was this? I don't even remember, but
I just discovered this, so I'm
yeah,
probably going to be entering a lot more of these. But because like what I try to do is I try to do whatever the theme is, or whatever the track. I
yeah,
just try to do the most ass backwards insane thing I can think of.
fucking
Like example,
yeah,
I'm in this contest for Pixel Masters, and the theme is elements, right?
yeah,
So I picked water, and the track I chose was. Did you ever play Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy?
Was that the one where it was like basically an expansion of the arcade style game?
No, no, it was the
Oh
kind
no,
of
it was
like Donkey Kong Country one and a
okay.
half. It was the yellow cartridge.
No, I didn't play that one sadly.
Yeah, so one of the tracks in that was the pirate ship level, and it was the Gangplank Galleon, but it was more like an orchestral version of right. So the theme is water, so I chose that theme, and then like,
Yeah.
okay, what am I gonna do to make it weird? I'm like, oh yeah, make it a Russian Navy hymn, and it's called the Hymn to Red Croctober.
Jesus Christ.
That took a while to figure out because that's not an easy track to make sound like scary and depressing.
Yeah, no, not really.
Haunted Chase was a pain.
Good.
Yeah, and then the Haunted Chase, which is the scary, like, yeah, that was a scary track, you know.
Yeah.
So I took that and I made that into a German polka somehow. I don't know why. That was just a stupid idea I had. Well, because I make puppets of a lot of original characters, but I also make puppets of like video game characters.
Yeah.
So my most recent one I did was you know the skeleton Kremling in Donkey Kong Country 2 from that level, Cackle.
I didn't play a whole lot of DKC, sadly.
Okay, well in Donkey Kong Country 2, there's a level where you're in like a haunted house and this like giant skeleton Kremling is chasing you.
Yeah.
And it's like actually scared the hell out of me. But I made a puppet of that character, and it actually came out really well.
Huh.
So I came up with the idea for a video where it's just him doing a polka, and then at the end, K. Rool goes up to him and is like, "Hey, eat a Snickers. Why? Because you're not that scary when you're hungry." And he eats. Is like, better.
Jesus.
I come up with the weirdest crap. Like you ever play Donkey Kong 64?
Yes.
Remember the Beaver bonus game, Beaver Bother?
I think so, yeah.
Where you're like a little claptrap and you have to get the beavers into the like hole in the ground.
Awesome.
It was like the worst mini game in the game.
Yeah,
I took the
yeah, I definitely hear a lot of complaints about the mini games in DK64.
yeah. So I took the theme from that, and I made the Dance of the Beaver Bolsheviks. That's on YouTube. That's a whole video. It's literally the beaver puppets doing Russian dances. It's because like I'm only good at like Russian, German, and circus music. It's a bizarre skill set, but yeah.
Yeah, you would have. But no, the theme that you would have loved a while back was Ubermensch.
Oh, I would have freaking.
Yeah, I can imagine you having a lot of fun with that one. The song that I made took heavy inspiration from Funker Vogt.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was EBM's feature pop.
I probably would do like I don't know how long ago that was, but I have my Colonel Hindenburger has a theme.
Yeah.
That I created. I gotta check that out. But this is here. I'll post a link to. Hold on one sec. The main theme for Colonel, because like, all right. So all my characters have a different theme, like a motif.
Yeah.
But it's all a variation of my main character's theme. So for instance, my main character has a Russian march.
Yeah.
But then every other character has that same theme, but their own spin on it.
Huh.
So like Hindenburger, he's demented and he's German, so I gave him a waltz, like a really creepy, with a cuckoo clock that plays throughout the waltz.
Cuckoo.
Yeah, because that's I made basically a cuckoo clock an instrument somehow, some way.
Huh.
So let me copy post it right here, and then I'll listen to yours. Yeah, this is yeah. So I named this the Cuckoo Clock Waltz, but it's now I composed the whole thing, but my friend Ian had better orchestral samples.
Yeah.
So he updated the samples, but the arrangements and the orchestration was mine.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's really fucking good. It's an odd thing to be good to be specialized in. Not gonna lie.
It really is. Yeah, and then the ticket taker, who's the circus character, the token circus character.
Yeah.
His theme, I took that same melody and then made it into a major key. and then I actually made a full-on music video for that. Here, I'll post that too. Yeah, welcome to Lardland.
Oh God.
That's his theme park. You'll get shanked. It's so stupid. And yeah, I built all those puppets.
And you sang it all too?
The voice of the ticket taker I did, and Shark Pirate I did.
Gotcha.
The little doll things were my friend Ian. He did the choir of the dolls. And my friend Courtney did the voice of Ticket, who's the female.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. And then. Yeah.
It's not safe at all.
It's so crazy.
It's catchy.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm not trying to make earworms, but they just sort of come out that way. It's bizarre. And I'm all self-taught too. I never took a music lesson. I am all self-taught.
I had like I had a semester of high school in music, piano and fucking percussion ensemble. That's it. So yeah,
I had lessons when I was very young, like 3, 5, 8 years old, and I wasn't really good at playing it.
yeah.
But that's really the only experience I have with a piano.
Hmm.
I learned because someone recommended FL Studio, and I saw the piano roll, and I literally just kept plugging notes into a computer until it sounded like music, and that's basically how I learned.
Yeah, FL Studio. I fell in love with it in 09, but when I made my first song, that was like 10 years old, and that was on my dad's copy of Sony Acid Pro, which is like you have.
Oh, I remember that.
God, all you do is load samples, and I still made an actual composition. Like it had a start, beginning, end. It had its choruses and all that, but and not just a bunch of random noise like you kind of expect a 10-year-old to compose. But 2000
remember, like, the first...
yeah 2007 I got a copy of Jam Tracks, which is like Acid Pro for babies, and it was it was awful.
I'm trying to remember the first song I ever composed, because it's hard, because I've it's been so long and I don't remember. I don't even think I still have it.
I don't still have it, but I remember the name of the first song I ever made was called Super Funky.
I love that. I love coming up with clever titles like
Chick de Einbilina.
Yeah, the Chick Bin. That was a pun that I came up with on the spot.
God.
I wrote the lyrics in like 10, 15 minutes, and then the song took most of the time, and then I recorded it, and yeah, it was a process. It was funny because the grunt theme that you've heard, like with the Hindenburger theme and the lard, like that theme that gets rearranged. So that started as a 15-second jingle for the beginning of my videos, because I wanted there to be like an intro theme. I didn't want it to be long, so I just came up with "Long live Comrade Grunt, leader of the state. Not a single scale on earth can calculate his weight." And that was it, because he's the main character is a big fat dictator named Grunt. So that was just a stupid jingle. And then as I started building the channel up, I'm like, I really want him to have like an evil theme. And I kept trying to compose something. I could never come, and then it like right under my nose, I'm like, wait a minute, I could take that jingle and just try to extend it. So I did.
Yeah.
And I came up with a full-blown March theme.
Huh.
Yeah. Actually, I have a playlist. I'll give you the playlist. You can listen to it later. But so there's only 4 songs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm currently still years later working on my next album.
I've never done an album, but I've always wanted to do like a polka album with the Hindenburger character, because I wrote like a bunch of lyrics that are really good. I just don't have the time to write them all, to make the music for them all.
Yeah.
And if I do an album, I would want like at least one or two actual accordions, and I don't know any accordion players. So,
Did you ever listen to Weird Al's
Weird Al.
Mandatory Fun album?
Oh yes.
Now
Oh
that's
yes.
what I call polka.
He's got every album he does.
As
He
a
has a
polka song.
polka medley,
Yep.
and they're great.
Yep.
That's what got me into it. You know.
Fucking Weird Al is just a genius.
It's funny. I never listened to like modern music. I always listened to like film soundtracks, and then he was really my first and only like exposure to like modern music. It's like, Weird Al, let me try him. Oh wow, he's really great. And he's really talented. He can actually underrated vocalist too. He can sing.
Yeah.
People, you know. And then I started listening to Dr. Demento, which is all different kinds of novelty tunes. So that's where I get.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of Tom Lehrer.
No.
He was played a lot on Dr. Demento when he's one of Weird Al's inspirations. Look him up. He did a lot of. He was ahead of his time. He did a lot of really dark, twisted songs, and they're really funny.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is he invented the Jello shot. Look it up.
Huh.
That's because he was in the army and he needed a way to sneak drinks into the barracks. So
I
think
I have heard his song New Math.
New Math. That was him.
Yep.
Poisoning Pigeons in the Park was another great one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think probably like I listen to a lot of modern music, but most of the artists I listen to, they aren't mainstream. You've probably never heard of them. No, I'm naturally a hipster when it comes to music. All the artists in my top 10, people are like, who?
That's me. Yeah. I listen to. Well, my music library is basically 90% video game film scores, and like 10% like random songs, like old school.
This guy is probably one of my favorite singers of all time. I consider him the gothic Freddie Mercury because he has that kind of range.
He looks gothic.
Yeah, Chris Corner. He was the co-founder of the trip hop band Sneaker Pimps back in the 90s.
That's a great title for a band, Sneaker Pimps.
Yeah, they had some great tracks, but then he broke off, formed IMX early 2000s. And
really?
this is the song that got me into him. And then one of my favorite artists of all time though is still Gary Newman. I love his more modern stuff actually. Like his old stuff is still good, but his more modern stuff, his wife introduced him to Nine Inch Nails in the 90s, and he just went full goth from there. I'm like, oh, this is excellent. This is fucking excellent.
I've always wanted to do like a parody goth metal band.
Oh, yeah?
I only have the title of the band, Triple Bypass.
Oh, God.
Because like I made up a country called Transfatylvania.
Jesus Christ.
And it's basically just the worst country in the world, but it's like an evil regime and it's a global superpower despite being so tiny. Like they have really good technology. So
I mean, it sounds
a lot
like
of that was kind of inspired by Red Alert, the Command and Conquer.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever played those games.
When I was a kid, but when it came to RTS, I was an Age of Empires kind of guy. Fun fact, at one point I was 6, maybe 7, and my mom was dating a guy that worked at Microsoft at the time.
Really?
Yeah. I got a fucking beta copy like 3-4 months before Age of Empires 2 was released. So I got a beta copy of Age of Empires 2. I wish I still had it, but that was the coolest shit to me.
Evil Genius?
No.
Okay, you ever played Dungeon Keeper or heard of Dungeon Keeper?
I'm familiar, never played it.
Okay, so it's basically like a micromanaging RTS kind of game, only you're a James Bond villain and you have to take over the world. God. But it's hysterical because there's a part in the game, big part of the game is you have to go around the world committing evil deeds with your minions.
Yeah.
So, but if you read the missions, they're friggin' hilarious. Like one of them is they're filming like a thing on seals in Antarctica. So you send a bunch of your goons to on camera club the seals.
God.
Then there's one where you have to actually do something good, blow up Nashville to save the world from country music. It's ridiculous, but it's hysterical.
God.
It's fun too because it's like you build
I'm sorry,
your
did you
own like.
say you're the villain in this story? Hmm. I'm just kidding.
I'm very good at playing a villain. Actually, that's
I have a hard time playing evil characters, but I can get into it in some situations. Uh,
yeah. I mean,
I'm too much. I'm too much of a do-gooder in video games. I want to rescue. I want to rescue the helpless, like fucking Doom Eternal. When you hear the cries coming through the radio of humanity crying for help, and he's like suiting up, and then he fucking cocks his shot, like someone help us, cocks his shotgun. I'm like,
occasionally I do
oh,
like that. And the thing is with villains with me, it has to be like a comical bad, but still bad. Like
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like when I came up with my main character, Grunton S. Vazaton, he's my main puppet character. The joke is he's the most evil being on the face of the earth,
Yeah.
but he's a puppet. And like at first no one takes him seriously, but then they realize, oh shit, he could actually murder all of us. And the joke is he stopped giving a shit. Like he's a dictator who stopped giving a shit. That's
Well
the
then,
joke. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's
fucking,
like,
there's someone I've always wanted to make a character of some kind. Like I really, really love voice acting. I
really?
need to submit like to because one of my viewers has provided me with a few or with a place that's actually apparently pretty good for submitting that kind of shit. But there was one character that I always just make. All I have is one joke about him, and it's my name is Sergeant Goodenough. Well, how good are you? I'm good enough.
That's actually really good. It's funny. I have a few Russian characters naturally,
Mm-hmm.
but the big one that I have is my character Grunt has two generals,
Yeah,
main generals that he talks to. So there's General Electric, who's an electric eel, and he's Italian,
wonderful.
and he's sounds like Joe Pesci. But then the main one he like confides in is Surgeon General Tobackoff, and he's a bullfrog with 5 cigarettes in his mouth. And
Jesus Christ.
yeah, like he's a Surgeon General who smokes. That's the joke. And
Well, I mean,
the
have you
company,
seen the health minister of Belgium?
no.
Oh, okay,
Do
hold
you
on.
really? I've never heard of the health minister of Belgium. Yeah, send me a link. But
Yeah,
yeah,
all right.
Tobackoff's fun because he's.
Here you go. This is Belgium's health minister.
Is this real?
Yes, 100% real.
That's Tobackoff in a wig. Wait. Hold. Yeah, this is Tobackoff. This is. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Oh, load up. Yeah, I love how his hat covers his eyes.
Yes.
So like, and he smokes Chernobyl cigarettes. It's literally poison. And he like, I have like 2 songs with him on my YouTube: the Chernobyl cigarette theme and the Chernobyl cigarette waltz. So stupid.
You change his outfit to khaki, and he looks like he'd start denying anything happened in Tiananmen Square on July 8th, 1989.
Funny
Something
thing
like.
is, like all my puppets have practical outfits, so if I could
Yeah.
I tailor his outfits, so I could actually make him a khaki outfit if I wanted to. Yeah, I'll post some of my here. This is my main guy Grunt. That's too big. Let's try that one. That's Grunt. If he loads up.
Yep. Nice.
He's a crocodile, and he's just like the most evil being in the world, and he's got this condition called Diablobetes, in which it's like diabetes, only his possessions act up if he doesn't inject holy water into himself. So he's technically part demon, which makes him even more horrifying. This is Hindenburger. I think I posted him. So that's the Colonel.
Yep. The one that's saying "Chick der Einberliner."
Yep, he looks like how he sounds. Let me find one. This is the ticket taker. who you've seen him, I think.
Yeah.
Demented carnival guy. And then this guy is a really weird one. This is Seamus McBoozy, King of Beria. And he is a leprechaun werewolf. It is the most bizarre thing I think.
Also, how many videos do you have the leprechaun werewolf in? Don't you know?
I actually don't have a lot. I should have more because I really like that character. It's hard to write for him.
I've got a friend that I think would love your shit. Oh god.
But it's and then Grunt. Here's Electric, by the way. He's Italian. He sounds like Joe Pesci.
Off the top of my head, I don't know what Joe Pesci sounds like. Is it like a New Yorker accent, or are we talking or is it more of a stereotypical Italian accent?
New Yorker. I can't do his voice actually. He's hard to write for, and he's like a mafia guy. It's like the best I could do is, yo, you think I'm a freaking idiot? Shut your face, asshole.
Oh, that guy. Oh, one of my favorite ones that I can kind of do. So let me tell you, have you ever heard of Aladdin?
Is that Gilbert? Oh my god, that is amazing. That is a really good Gilbert Gottfried.
That son of a gun took my best friend Yago from me.
The aristocrats. That fucking joke.
Or God, I love his. I didn't watch Problem Child 1 much, but Problem Child 2. Where he is the principal of the school.
When he's the principal and the kid shows up.
Yep.
The fucking scream.
Oh, what died in here? Oh, God. You know what? I'm skipping you 3 grades, because a kid who can rip one like that has to have a mind.
That is literally the best Gilbert Gottfried impersonation I've ever fucking heard.
Yes! And it was completely unintentional. I started doing funny voices when I would get mad, just so that it was less threatening. Like my go-to is always more of a Scottish accent, because no one can take it seriously if you're taking a Scottish accent. I mean, if you put some power to it and sound a little more like a Viking, then you've got a problem. But I mean, if you're just going with a Scottish,
that's really good. No, like when I do voices, like I like. And I do some really bizarre like Mayor Quimby or John F. Kennedy, if you want to get that. I am John F. Kennedy. We will send a man to the moon. These zombies that plagued our town are now just corpses rotting in our streets. What's
pretty
another? This is a stupid pun, but I really like this character. This is Al Gore, the Hunchback. Igor Al
yeah.
Gore. And
I was gonna say.
Al Gore Manslave is his name, and he's the ambassador, but he's also Grunt's servant, so he's the only one aside from Grunt's wife that lives in his house.
Huh.
And the other joke is that his house is possessed. Like, Grunt lives in basically the worst hell house in any, like, horror movie, but everything in the house is terrified of him because he's such an asshole, and he's the worst thing in the house, and like, yeah. So Al Gore is like the Renfield or the Igor in this case. So he's like the idiot, and of course he sounds like this. Yes, I demand a recount. Global warming and man bear pig is real. Ironically, Grunt doesn't have an accent, and he's the main character. He just sounds like this.
He just sounds like a stereotypical military guy. Something like that.
Sound like an asshole. Like I blatantly don't give a shit. You there. Execute, re-educate, and arrest him in that order. But that doesn't. Just do as I say. Like, he just sounds like that.
But, boss, what do you want me to do with them?
Yeah, like, his guards all sound stupid. Exactly. Like, all of his guards, like, are like that. Yeah. Sir? Like, that was always their catch. Every time they see him, sir? Like, and then, like, I have hierarchy of his guards. I haven't built all of them, obviously. I've drawn them. But, like, you have the guard, who's, like, the, helmet, military outfit. Then there's the triple spike, which is, like, the big, burly, like, bazooka-wielding commando. And then there are the gazpacho officers who are literal soup Nazis. They're turtles with big thermoses of soup on their back and fire hoses attached to it. And they'll attack by spraying acid soup at you.
It just sounds like all I can think is like the worst parody of Warhammer 40k. It's the unpuppetry of man.
I actually really want to make like an RTS or like a video game, but with the puppets, like humans versus puppets, but the puppets are actually more powerful.
I've got
or a TV show.
I've got four. Yeah, the TV show I think would probably be easier, and then you'd get the funding from that to make an RTS. But yeah, there are 4 total games I want to make in my lifetime. There are 2 Metroidvania games that are themed around music. One where you take control of one particular genre, and you go, and it's more like Metroidvania world, but Mega Man style. You go to the bosses in any order. You'll get an extra ability from them. And slowly the world becomes more of your music genre as you kill the others. And then the other one is like you create this little agent called a booster or whatever, and you equip different music genres, and they'll have different abilities. Like you could switch between them on the fly, and it's like taking down a cyberpunk totalitarian regime, generic kind of thing. But yeah, but then there are 2 3D ones I want to make. One is a spiritual successor to Kirby Air Ride. The fucking
that's cool.
Yeah, fucking City Trials is one of the greatest multiplayer experiences ever.
Absolutely.
But instead of stars, I had to think of something unique. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? Hover boots, different kinds of fucking hover boots and shoes. Great. And then one that's kind of like, I don't know if it's going to be open world or whatever, but I love urban fantasy, like Secret World, World of Darkness kind of shit. You know, monsters exist and monsters and magic exist in the real world. But basically, it was going to be called Raven Lane, and Raven Lane refers to like this sort of extra dimensional wormhole that has different tether points on the Earth, which would provide the maps because they're just kind of randomly there. And like I have a whole fucking design document for this one. And basically you become chosen by these like extraplanar demigods who grant you power. Like basically you choose your class based on what deity you choose to be imbued with. Fucking hold on, where is it? Where's that design doc?
I have a few like game ideas too.
Oh yeah?
Well, like the games I come up with are like the games within my world. So like it's what the characters would play.
Yeah.
So like the one I have no name for this, but all the characters are cryptid, like, you know, Bigfoot and all that, but they're in the wrong countries. So like you have Chinese leprechaun, French Bigfoot, Korean banshee, like all different cryptids. They're in the wrong parts of the world. Austrian chupacabra is my favorite.
Jesus Christ.
He's a chupacabra, but he's in lederhosen and he's very merry. Swedish Yeti is another good one.
The lederhosen reminds me of real quick, my favorite birthday cards that I've ever seen. It was for my ex stepdad. He was very proud of his German heritage, and so he received a card for his like 45th birthday.
Right.
As they say in the old country, "Mir Wiener Schnitzel always stay above your lederhosen." Fucking love that.
The Yeti character has appeared in multitude of shit that I've written, but like whenever he talks, he speaks like the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's Swedish. Inga dinga, strugen sweet, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, you can freeze them, then eat them. That was the basis of the character. There was a Kellogg's Pop-Tarts commercial. Listen to the Yeti, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. You can freeze them, then eat them. And I'm like, yeah, there's got to be a Swedish Yeti who only eats Pop-Tarts. So,
Yeti sounds very interesting.
I have just such a bizarre repertoire of stupidity.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so unbelievably dumb. But dumb can work, you know? It's like...
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I've been working on this since high school, and this is like...
And how long ago was that?
What?
How long ago did you graduate?
I'm
high school?
20. I'm 29. So I'm trying to. I can't do math. 2009. I
I'm
graduated.
26 and I graduated 2012. I'm
29. Am I
uh
off?
December birthday, so
I'm November. So
yeah, no. So Raven Lane, the players are called vessels. The players are chosen to make a pact with benevolent forces, choosing what powers they wish to take. It's like imbuing from Hunter, but with a choice like a warlock. Colloquially referred to as laners by those aware of the lane's existence and what these vessels are capable of. Vessels draw power from Raven Lane just the same as monsters do. They will level up each game and be able to use more powerful abilities, blah, blah, blah. Raven Lane, supernatural interdimensional road with connections to various points on Earth that supernatural beasts and monsters can come through, dubbed Raven Lane due to ravens historically being harbingers of death. The deities are known as the Eldred, and hey, sup, Eric? Breach Incorporated. It's like Breach, but better.
that's actually really good. Like I haven't actually done that yet. Like I need to do like
World building.
descriptions of like everything.
Oh yeah.
And
So yeah, the Eldred come from another plane known as Gran, one that has been combating the Dark Realm known as Balthesk, which and they sensed that the bridge humans dubbed Raven Lane had made connections to Earth, and thus began seeking out warriors they deemed worthy of granting various gifts. These avatars chosen are known as vessels, blah blah blah. So the nine, I think so, gods / classes. Horelion, Lord of Might, is a berserker class. Nyellinor, Lordess of the Void. She's a dark mage. Janael,
love it.
Lord of the Light mage. Viren, Lord of Triumph, is a tank class. Boran is Lord of Machination, engineer class. Trella, Lordess of Flight, light damage class with focus on mobility. Gale, Lord of Mending, dedicated support. Wenria, Lordess of the Frontline, tank support hybrid. Sildur, Lord of Inspiration, damage support hybrid. And Kavri, Lordess of Knowledge, buff focus support engineer hybrid. With
That's like I can't do that. I need to like shit like that. I haven't done yet. I should do that.
Oh yeah,
That's really good.
but
Like,
this is probably one of my favorite parts. So outside of the matches, you'd be able to interact with different factions. And
I love that. That's great.
the one that I was very proud of actually, the Spear Division, which Spear stands for Spectral, Eldritch, and Arcane Research.
I love acronyms, so that's
Yes.
actually a really good one.
And the other idea was spectral phenomena of the Eldritch, spectral phenomena of the Eldritch and Arcane Research Division. I think
I have one acronym that I really like. It's because all the women in my country are witches because reptiles are green and witches are green. I just made that connection. So the Grunt's wife is like the head witch, so she came up with the Witches Against Clean Humor Watch, and they have their own fighter jet, the Wiccan 6, which I haven't come up with that stands for, but it sounds cool.
Did you ever play Breach? Eric wants to know in my chat.
I have never played Breach. But
That one, it lived and died shortly after. It was pretty interesting. Similar concept to what I had going there, because I love concept of urban fantasy is just always so
I like
underutilized.
Open world like shit where you can just like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie specifically.
Yeah.
Because like that's the kind of game because it's cartoony, but also it's just a huge world that you can explore. Or an RTS would work because it's all army and military themed. So, actually, this is funny. I'm working on a mockumentary style interview of my character.
Yep.
A while ago, there was a special on I think 60 Minutes called "The Putin Interviews," where they just interviewed Putin.
Yeah.
So I came up with the Grunton interviews, and it's just an interview with the puppet. But I came up with some pretty funny stuff. Like I'll just read you this little excerpt if you don't mind. So,
yeah, Eric, this guy does puppets. It's great. He's got good shit.
I'll do the voice. So here we go.
All right.
A disturbing upbringing. All right. My father, Grunton the First, better known as Grunt the Inhaler, was a bloodthirsty vampire, warlord, and bookie who liked to fuck women in the ass. My mother was a woman who liked to be fucked in the ass. As a child, I enjoyed many activities in my leisure. Things like skinning live cats, blood finger painting, and making macaroni condoms to scare Sarah Fatzloff. I hated that bitch. My father was a great role model, but he was also kind of a dick. He wanted me to be as evil as he was, so whenever I did something bad, like putting anthrax in my English teacher's lesson book, my dad would reward me with a dead baby, which I displayed in my bedroom like they were action figures. And that's really all you need to know how screwed up his childhood was.
Yeah, and that's the crocodile, right?
Yep, that's the main croc.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the...
I was
Yeah, it's
highlighting
just
that for Eric. He's like, this is some comedian shit. Yeah, let me...
Yeah, this is actually the drawn versions of the cast that I... Like, the artwork.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the main cast. So you've got Generalissimo Grunton S. Vazaton, Pyrella Burns, who's his wife. I love the name Pyrella Burns.
Yep.
And naturally, she's a pyromaniac. The Grunt the Inhaler's down in the corner. That's his dad, who's like Vlad the Impaler, but worse. He's like the joke is he's like the typical like stereotypical badass. The only joke is he retired and moved to Florida because he's just so sick of it. He's like, fuck it. Then this is the Germans. I just have a whole section of German characters. You have Hindenburger, who you heard him.
Yep.
Shakenberg, who's his like cousin twice removed, and he does the milkshakes. And then Frida Fries is the French fry lady. I also like Cecil the asshole dachshund. He's pretty funny. Then these are the loons, goons, and buffoons, which are the carnies and the random ones. So you've got. I really like the Salamancer, who's a witch doctor, but he's stoned. He's a stoner witch doctor, so he's the worst witch doctor in the entire world.
It depends on where you go. Traditional shamans probably get high out of their fucking mind. There's the whole vegetalistas in Mexico. They exclusively get high.
Originally, he had a roommate, Al Hashish, Genie in the Bong.
Eric said this is looking more and more like Alabama.
Pretty much. That's God. These are the miscellaneous ones that haven't really been built or made yet. Well, except for Seamus and Mr. Freckles. So, Denny the Diabetic Dragon is just literally a kid show character. That's their kid show. Denny the Diabetic Dragon. Mussolini is just the leader of Canada in my world.
Wonderful.
He's literally a moose. Patches Piranha is like a singing fish, but he's like blind. So,
all I can think is Patches from SpongeBob. I think that was his name, right? Patches.
Patchy the pirate.
Patchy pirate.
Yeah. These are the guards. These are like the drones.
Yeah.
So you've got like the trooper, the triple spike, the agent. Oh yeah. So the chupacabras, right?
Yeah.
So they're basically Oompa Loompas in my world. So they have a song. Chupacabra sucks to be you. Please do not eat the river of poo. If you think that it is chocolate, you would be wrong. It's simply shit.
Eric wants you to make a fucking Joe Exotic puppet.
A what?
Joe Exotic, that from that Tiger King documentary that's on Netflix.
Oh god, I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard all about it.
I've heard so much, and I'm never going to watch it.
I'm not watching that. I don't care. It's like, but all I know is it's about people who keep live tigers as pets, and I'm like, well, if you keep a live tiger as a pet, you deserve to be mauled. You're an idiot.
I did appreciate like Siegfried and Roy when they got attacked by their tigers, and they asked, if they were asked if they wanted the tigers put down. They're like, no, they're tigers being tigers. What? I'm like,
they're the exception, but then people who just like keep them as pets randomly are just like, really, guys? You really want that as a pet? All right.
There's a mini documentary that is actually very, very related to that. It was called Roar.
Right.
And it was a movie that took them several years and a lot of budget to make, or whatever they had available to them. It was actually very low budget. It took a lot of percentage of budget.
Right.
They made the movie with 150 untrained lions and tigers.
What?
Actors got mauled, scratched, everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's insane. This was when was this made? Like, not the documentary, the movie.
The movie was made in... I'm trying to find... I'm trying to...
I'd like to think it was made in like a long ass time ago, not like
Yeah, no, it was like 80s or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. So back then, safety regulations weren't what they are now.
Oh no,
clearly.
I mean, they were still violating a whole lot of shit. They were kind of filming it in secret. This is the one that I had watched on it.
My God.
Jesus.
Like, some people are just like, I don't get it. Whatever. People are just.
Yeah, no. Eric's very adamant about it. He says he'd fit right in with the cast. The Joe Exotic.
Cast is just so weird.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like,
he's
one of the weirdest one I ever came up with, and I actually cut him out of the show.
Yeah?
Not because I wanted to, because I don't think he would fly nowadays. So, Grunt's original like modus operandi was he hated anime. That was like he just hates anime for whatever reason.
Specifically anime, not Japan, just anime?
No, just anime. He hated anime. So in his own insane way, he thought anime was created by a gay French Nazi astronaut. And it turns out he's right. He was right. There really is a gay French Nazi astronaut, and he's an evil space emperor who has an entire Star Wars style evil empire, and he's trying to take over the world. And I actually had a whole cast with him. He was, first of all, I can see if I can find a picture of him, because he is the weirdest thing, but he actually looks like a threatening villain somehow, somewhere. Here, hold on one sec.
Huh.
Oh, wait, I think I have him. Gay French. I mean, and it started as a joke. Oh yeah, here we go. Ready? Brace yourself.
Oh boy, is this something I could show on stream?
He doesn't have anything
that
big.
Jesus.
An iron cross. I didn't draw the you know what. I drew the iron cross.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was that, as long as it's no nudity or anything like that.
No. He looks. He's an evil. He looks like an evil villain.
Yeah, like an evil villain in a parody of a Bomberman game.
I mean, yeah, and then his general is Sacre Bleu, who's a knockoff of Pikachu, clearly. Yep. I have to make him look a lot different because they'll probably sue me if this ever takes off. And then like his army are anime schoolgirls with antenna, and then like he's got like Pokeball TIE fighters, and his Star Destroyer is the Eiffel Tower. That's like on its side,
right? Jesus.
And then he has like a lightsaber, paintbrush, and artist's palette because he's French. Naturally, he's an artist.
Oh, it is all over for you.
And yeah, he sounds like the French taunter from Monty Python. Like that is his. That would be his.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he sounds.
Now go away, you stupid English knigget.
The second-hand bunch of electric donkey bottom batters. But no, and then like the joke is they don't even know what gender he is because they can't. He's in the suit, so you don't know if he's a man, woman, or an alien. Like you'll never know what his true identity is. Originally, like the idea was they break his suit, and then out comes this giant monstrosity of French culture, like 3 heads. One's a poodle, one's a mime, one's Napoleon. He's got a escargot shell, frog legs.
Jesus Christ!
It was the stupidest thing I've ever come up with. But yeah, that was Grunt's
Final
nemesis
Space Art
for the longest time. Now the joke is he hates everybody.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's biased or anything, or he's prejudiced. He just doesn't like anybody.
Yeah.
So
I hate everyone equally.
Yeah, that's his whole mantra. I just hate everyone. Well, he doesn't hate everybody. There's two people he doesn't hate. His wife, because I wanted his wife and him to actually have a functional relationship like Gomez
Yeah.
and Morticia.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
It's always
Gomez and Morticia are one of the best couples in television.
And that's
history.
exactly it. And I love that they actually love each other and they're not like one's not stupid, one's not smart.
Yeah.
It's like they're a functioning couple. So that's Grunt and Pyrella. They're a very functioning couple. They're just fucked in the head. And then so there was that, but so Grunt loves his wife.
Yeah.
The other person he doesn't hate is Derek Jeter because it's scientifically impossible to hate that guy. Yeah, the science it's like, well, we tried to find ways to hate him, we just can't. So sorry. He doesn't even like the Yankees. So, yeah, but hey, he's okay.
Not John Cena. That would have been pretty funny.
John Cena would have been
just every time he fucking receives a call, or like John Cena is secretly working for him the whole fucking time.
I actually had a joke like that. I had a joke like that where Grunt's therapist is Dr. Phil, but not out of like he's not paying him. He's got him held hostage as his therapist. Like, it's like can fucking... I go now? No.
That fucking reminds me of Kingsman 2, holding John Elton fucking hostage. Is it? No, was it John Elton? Or Elton John? What the fuck? Yeah, what the hell was wrong? What was that?
The funniest thing about that is, you know, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, the comedian, the British guy.
Yeah.
He did a whole sketch with actual Elton John.
Yeah.
Making fun of the fact that his last name should be his first name. It should be John Elton, but it's Elton John. He did a whole thing on that, and it was
Rowan Atkinson's really great.
Yeah, he's just. Well, you ever see him in Blackadder?
No.
Okay, so this was an inspiration of mine. So there was a show he did, I think before Bean, called Blackadder, where he basically plays the world's biggest asshole.
Yeah.
It's him throughout history. So it's like the first season he was like medieval times, but in the first season it was weird. He was stupid and everyone else was smart, and then the rest of the show he was smart and everyone else was stupid.
Yeah.
Because I guess it worked better. Then the second season was in Shakespearean times. Third season, I don't remember the time period, but then the fourth season it was World War One. And then it had he had a Christmas Carol where the Christmas Carol was a great one because he was Scrooge, but he was really nice. And then by the end of it, the ghosts show him what he would be like if he was evil, and then he turns bad. Because because the whole joke is everyone was walking all over him because he was so nice. And then by the end of it, he's the bastard that he is. And he just, that was just funny.
Anyway.
Funny. I gotta go eat dinner now.
Yeah.
But great talking to you. I'm really awesome stuff. You the friggin' chicken noises, man. I'm so impressed, man. That's the best.
And I'll be starting to put out content on my YouTube as well. I just subscribed to you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yes, send me a link to your channel again because I got subscribe to you.
Yeah, all I do right now is upload my VODs, but I will be. I'm currently editing a video. I'm
doing a whole fairy tale series, Grunton's Story Time.
Oh yeah.
All it is just him reading really stupid fairy tales. Yeah, I have 3 of them up now. So let me subscribe
real quick. I'm gonna call you because I want to screen share something from my from the video that I'm editing. I want to get your opinion on it because the only video editing I did was all the way back in middle school. So I'm doing a video review of Conglomerate 451, Cyberpunk DRPG and shit. But yeah, let me just bring this up. Yeah, this video. So I'm pulling up HitFilm. What do you use for your editing?
I used to use Sony Vegas, but then I got a new computer and I have to buy it again, but it's expensive. So now I'm using Premiere, which I don't really like that much. But I have to download the Discord app because I'm using the browser. I
Oh,
haven't. Yeah, I'm using a. You know what? Show me. I have to go eat dinner now, but later I'm gonna download the. I just got this new computer, so I still have to download a bunch of shit.
yeah.
So um, I'll download that tonight, and then I'll definitely just hit me up whenever. So
All right. Uh, yeah. I mean, or like I should be finishing it up Monday, I think, because I don't stream. I got nothing else going on, so I'm gonna buckle down and
I'm here all the time,
yeah,
obviously because of this whole shit show with the friggin' whatever. But
yeah,
all right, I'll talk to you later.
yeah. Good talking.
Bye.
Bye. And thus concludes the stream as well. Thanks for stopping in, though, Eric. I'll be back on a little later. Pretty sure Valgrave is on my itinerary. Right? To my channel, please. Yes, Valgrave is on my itinerary, so I will be back with Valgrave. In hour or two, 1 a.m. here. Oh, okay. Well, 3 or 4 hours. You might be able to catch a little bit of Valgrave then. I'll be starting within the next hour and a half, I think. Alrighty. That was a hell of a fucking stream. Alright. Alright. Maybe, yep. Thanks for stopping in.